Good evening and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is September 23rd, 2016. My name is Lynn and I'm your host. Welcome. And I know I started a few minutes early, but I'm having a few hiccups with Google and Hangouts and YouTube, so I'm hoping we don't lose the signal. I have it now, and I wanted to jump online and say hi to everyone. I'm not sure how long this is going to go. So if you lose me, know that I'll be back at it tomorrow. But in the meantime, let's proceed as if Simply Colorful FiberCast is going on as scheduled. And we have clue number 4. How are you doing? It's a whopper of a quilt, isn't it? Clue number 4, for anyone who might not be following yet, is on simplycolorful.com. It's also on the Facebook page, Simply Colorful, and the Simply Colorful Quilt Along. I posted the files there. There are a couple of files, like with previous quilts, previous clues in this particular quilt. Clue 4, plus there is the paper piecing piece pattern. And today, or this week, it's a relatively minor week. Ho, 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 she says, with pieces that are 1.5 inches wide that we're going to use, or triangles that are half of 1.5 inch. We only have to make 16 blocks today, this week. I'm sorry, not today, this week. And they are called Storm at Sea, so most of us should recognize them. The key is that the 16 blocks that we have to make are in groups of 4. And it's very important. We're going to be using pieces of the Supernova fabric that we cut out last week. And it's going to be important in each of these groups of 4 to put the fabric in the right direction. And I put it in the instructions, and we'll go over it. Basically, I have done 3 of the 4 groups of 4. So I've done 12 already, and tonight I'm hoping to do the last 4 of them. So for example, these are the ones, this is what we're making. I should have just showed you that. And these are the ones where the dark goes to your left and the light goes to the right. So the supernova streaks of light are going this way in all of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and specifically the tags that I used are 34, 36, 32, and 61. And again, that's in the instructions. So there are 4 going like that. There are also going to be 4 that go like that, 4 that go like that, and 4 that go like that. And that's a big clue of what we are making in this mystery. By the way, thank you for anyone who is still out there working on this mystery. I know it's a doozy, and I'm not even sure, to tell you the truth, that we're going to get it all done in 8 weeks. So right now I am targeting us to finish the wall hanging size in the next couple of weeks, and then should you Hello again. I hope I'm back. It looks like I am. It looks like we're live again. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. Whether it's the internet connection here at home, whether it is anything to do with switching from Google to YouTube Live, although I don't think it is. I think we've been using YouTube Live for months, so we haven't run into that snag. But you never know. Or it could be my Chromebook. Whatever is going on, I'm glad you're here. It's mystery quilt time. And as I was saying, we're going to make 4 of these Storm at Sea blocks. So grab your clue, or just grab a glass of wine or a brownie or a magazine and enjoy listening to the music. The Final Notice Band is playing downstairs. I hope you can hear them. As you can see, I'm still in my temporary studio. It's getting a little old, and I think I said that last week. I think I'll be in the new studio by Thanksgiving. That's my hope, because I have lots of piles around here. Ooh! Chris Myers says, I'm with you. Yay! Thanks for letting me know, Chris. She says, you're back on. You look adorable. Yay, Friday. Yay, wine. Yay, you. Hey, I thought of you today. I received my Missouri Quilt Star magazine, which we'll get to in a minute. So we're going to do the mystery. I'm going to share my quilt-related mail, of which there are several pieces. And I wonder if maybe you all have received that mail. And then might talk about the news a little bit if we have time. I also, definitely, I want to talk about the Color Wheel Quilts company and their fabric bundles that I've discovered and I love. I love the fabrics that they've picked, especially for their light one that I'm going to show you. I also wanted to tell you about the Marathon Quilters Quilting Gallery last week. The lighting wasn't so good, so I couldn't get a good video. It's one of those things where the light comes in the windows and there wasn't enough light coming down on the quilts, so whenever you moved your camera, it would adjust for the light coming in the windows, and then everything inside looked dark, or vice versa. So, and I clearly am not a photographer. I have great respect for multimedia folks. And I must admit, I was one of those people in high school that used to laugh at the AV people. Now who's laughing? Those people can be employed for the rest of their lives. So, again, I have 12 done, and let's do the last 4. So I'm going to pull up the clue again. This is on simplycolorful.com. We're going to make 16 of them. A reminder, this will end up being 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches unfinished. It'll end up being 5 by 5 when it's finished. On page 2 is a picture of the printout of the 3 paper pieces that you'll print out. Of course, I cut all of mine up, so I don't even have a full one to show you. But basically, we're going to create this block in 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. And again, this biggest piece here is going to be a piece from the Supernova quilt fabric, and it's going to be really important to get it aligned properly. And we'll get to that in a minute. And then down on the bottom of the second page, it tells us colors. So in addition to needing our SS outers that we cut out last week, KB, great job cutting it out. And you know, the day after we had FiberCast, the day after we had FiberCast last week was the Marathon Quilters Quilt Show, and I had a booth there. So I was there from morning till night, although I was late. The darndest thing, I woke up early, I was all ready to go, and then I fell back asleep, and literally it was 10 o'clock. I've never done that. Not in a long time. I guess I have done that before. But I did it again on Saturday, and it was quite funny because I missed setup time. So by the time I got there, it was 10:10. It was quite embarrassing when I went by all the other vendors with my goods and I set up my table. Anywho, I had a great time. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Where was I going with that? So I haven't had a lot of, so as soon as I did that last Saturday, then Sunday morning I flew to Florida, and I've been there since yesterday. So I apologize if I've missed a few emails, and I think I have. I saw some emails when I was in the airport, and I was going to reply back, and then I literally was giving a karaoke party down there. I was meeting with customers, meeting with partners, meeting with my new counterparts, and the week just got away from me. So I believe I owe several of you an email back, and we may owe you even some cutting instructions, so I promise I'll go through that tomorrow. And this t-shirts, thank you Karen, KK out in San Diego, for your t-shirt size. For anyone else who's a patron and has not received their t-shirt, send me your size if you haven't. I think I saw a few others. I'm going to send those all out tomorrow, so everyone will get those. And we have new green ones, so they're really pretty. And let's see, what else? So I apologize if I'm behind. Send me another email if there's something that I owe you. Linda, welcome. I know I've friended some new folks recently, so welcome to the party. I'm so glad you're with us. We're in our third year. We're well in our third year. In fact, we start our fourth year of FiberCast on January 1st. That's amazing, isn't it? And it's thanks to you all, so thanks for being there. Back to page 2 of our mystery quilt. The colors that you'll need in addition to cutting out your fabric are A, B, E, J, and D. And as we all know, back clue 1 was picking out our fabrics and allocating them A, B, C, D, and I keep referring back to this. So again, the colors we're going to use are yellow, red, blue, dark blue, light blue, and another light blue, and then our supernova. So that is page 2. Then if you go on to page 3, it tells us how many of each to cut out. Literally for your center square, oh, I'm sorry, these center squares are already cut out, SS outer. Put all 16 of them aside, and then before you do any piecing, I want you to group them in the groups that are described in the layout, and I probably should have said it right there. So literally, which one's this, 55? These are literally the ones where the darker part of the square is going to be pointing, no. I misread SS as 55. And I really should put my glasses on here. Vanity will get you every time. Okay, oh, I can see. Okay, so these are the ones that will go left to right with the dark part of the square pointing toward the right. And literally this is 45, 47, 49, and 52. And that's my grouping. Put your 16 blocks, put them into their groups of 4. Okay? So let's go back to page 3. Then what another cutout is cut 16 1.5-inch squares of your color B. In my case, it's dark red. Cut 32 1.5 by 1.5 squares, and then cut them in half so that you end up with 64 triangles of your color A. Then your color J, which is my second light blue, cut 2 by 2-inch squares and cut them on the diagonal. Again, cut 32 squares, cut them in half so you end up with 64 triangles. Color E is my light blue. It's literally 2.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And then color D, 128, 1.75 by 2.5. And I even, no, that's right. And then what you're going to see when I go to paper piece these, I've been cutting off a corner, and that's been helping me. Yes, we waste a lot of fabric with paper piecing, but in the end, the results are precision, and that's really fun, because I can tell you I would never sew anything like that without it being paper pieced. And it feels really good. I cannot wait for all of us to see this mystery come together. So with that, what I'm going to do is, let's start with our big pieces. Literally one of these. So what I've done first is, what I've been doing first is the big piece that will be the light diamond, the B1. Then for my B2, I take my dark blue, and I've cut that off, and I hold it up to the light. And as always, this gets easier. Don't I sound like a broken record? I know I say that every week. I'm hoping I don't run out of thread on the show. I'm still using my Aurifil pink. It works just like a gray. Okay, and I've got a small stitch, and then literally I'm going to do all 4 of these in a row. This will help me put all 4 of my supernova pieces in the right direction. Just help to repeat it. So while I do this, I want to remind everyone to send me your emails, send pictures of what you're working on so we can all see it. It's okay if it's not the mystery quilt. Again, I do understand. But what a hoot and what fun it is to see your quilt design having been expressed or interpreted by other people. So Joyce Morganelli, Karen, KB, thank you for doing those quilts, doing the 2-color delight and sharing them with everyone. I posted the pictures, and they weren't all hanging together, which was just as well. People remembered. It's such a simple pattern. People remembered it, and it was fun. And then, of course, the raffle quilt was our Oh Baby Baby quilt mystery that we made not too long ago. When did we do that? Early 2016? That pattern is available for free on the Simply Colorful website, so help yourself. All of the mystery patterns are. And for those of you who have become patrons, thank you, and you might think to yourself, well, what did I get by being a patron? Well, bonus content, and a big hug and a thank you for playing and helping support this creative endeavor. I really, really appreciate it. And it will afford us the ability to do more creative programming. We are in the throes, or I am, in the throes of figuring out the technology a bit more so that we can have multiple presenters. Because I think that would be really fun. Kind of a talk radio type of approach. So we could talk to each other and really, really get out there on a limb. Granted, we're live broadcasting one way, but can you imagine broadcasting 2 ways? Woohoo! So, now I have 4 of them that look like that. And I finger pressed it open, and now I just literally, I say literally a lot, I think. I go and do the other thing. And I have a good light. It's allowing me to see through this. There were, like I said, 100 quilts at the quilt show. One of them was the Hopkinton's 300th anniversary quilt that is a work of art, really has been designed by multiple people, photos from across town as well as from the marathon quilters. It includes historic photos that were printed by Spoonflower, I believe, a couple of times. Yikes, because they came out different sizes. There's literally a three-dimensional map of where things have been, and then across the bottom is a chronology of things that happened in the 300 years. And the map is there's topographical trapunto, I think, and just amazingly well done. And Carrie's daughter created a custom cabinet. That's her livelihood, or her vocation. And this is the daughter who is at Wentworth now. But last summer, she built a wooden case for this quilt that is now permanently housed. And it was just, in fact, Jean sent a picture of it this morning, which I'll show you right now. They put it in today. How cool is that? Come on, baby. That is the historic quilt. And I'll post it online, or I'll share it so that you can see it. Oh, it looks so good in that frame. Very nice. The other quilts that were there were some amazing. Oh, there was one art quilt that Karen Sweich made for her 80-year-old mother. She literally made fabric in a computer program. I don't know if it was Adobe or what program it was. But she made the fabric, and I'm going to tell you what was included on it. And then she had Spoonflower print it in 2 panels. And literally that was the quilt. Sewn together were these 2 panels. And basically what she did was, for every year of her mother's life, for 80 years, she created a block about that size, maybe 5 by 5, 6 by 6. And it had a faint outline of the year. So let's say it was 63, faint outline of 63, kind of greens and blues. Then on top of it, she wrote things that had happened in history that year in the world, big events. And then under that were life events in her mother's life. And literally for 80 years, it goes along. She said she also made a music montage to go with it from the years to give to her mother to listen to it. And she said the montage ended up being 9 hours long, which was fine. Her mother's still enjoying it. How fun is that? So that was another type of quilt, and there were all sorts of different kinds in between. All hung from the ceiling with harpoon wire, fishing line. I don't know if it was Kevlar, if I'm remembering that right, but it was harpoon wire that could hold up to 400 pounds with carabiners on each end, and it was flung over the beams, and then all of the quilts had wooden beams through the back, right, through the hanger, the 4-inch hanging pocket, and then they literally hung there. So you could go through and you could kind of sway the quilts if you wanted to. No one really did, and they were held back to back. So it was tremendous, and we had more people the first day than we had, I think, in any of our quilt shows ever. So that was, I'm just so impressed by the work that the Guild did. That is no small feat. Joyce and Linda and Colleen, and I should name lots more. Everyone did their part. Kathleen, Yvonne, everyone pitched in, and it was quite a show. So, where was I going with that? So that's that. Let's see, what else has been going on? So this one's kind of skinny. I hope this fits. Yeah. Don't know why that's so small. Literally, we're almost to the point where we're going to use our supernova fabric. I should be showing you these. Okay. See, it's not very pretty. And then I just fold it back. I cut away the excess. So I've got 3 of the 4 pieces on that one. So there's one. See, same thing. I have 3 out of the 4. The band sounds good. Oh, I wanted to say hi. More of you are out there than I think I realized, I have to admit. And I thank you for being out there. We have hit 1,600 subscribers on YouTube, and I couldn't be happier. I must admit, I have crises of lack of confidence, and I wonder why, what more do I have to talk about? But then I think that's not really what this is about. This is about what together we can do in 60 minutes. And really, if you look back and see, if you've been with FiberCast for any length of time, I hope you look back and say, even if you haven't knitted more or crocheted more or even made more quilts, it's okay. But if you've enjoyed a few more minutes maybe of thinking about something that you really love, that's all that's important. And that we get to do it for 60 minutes each week. Okay. So this one, for some reason, I got a little bit behind. But that's okay. I went food shopping before FiberCast, and we used to shop at Hannaford next door. I don't know if you all have Hannaford where you are. I think maybe it got started up in New Hampshire, but it's where Bob and I have been going for several years now. And you know, when you get used to something, you know where everything is. And they sold the Hannaford that we've been going to the Big Y. And we went there. Bob and I have each gone there independently and then together. And we are going to mix it up. And believe it or not, I've been to Stop and Shop again twice. And I should tell Mom, if you're listening, I hope that I didn't have them overwrite your Stop and Shop card. So today, here's what I did. Because I've been, the last couple of times I've gone, I have asked them to use their store Stop and Shop card so I could get at least the discount. And then I discovered their coupons. I used 5 of their coupons today. Put that aside. So I used to have a Stop and Shop card years ago, and I hadn't had one in months. So I went up to the Stop and Shop desk, and first they start to look for it using your name. Or no, your phone number. So I gave them my current phone number. No, it wasn't there. So then I gave them my name, and I gave them my maiden name. Well, yes. Where did you? Then they ask you. No, they ask you to give you the first 3 letters of your first name, the first 3 letters of your last name. So I did LYNBRY, and they found some. Then they asked you for your name, and I gave it. And then they said, okay, did you used to live in Milford? And I said, no. I lived in Hopkinton. No. And then he started to read down a few other places. Derby, Menemsha, Chilmark. And I said, oh, Chilmark, that's mine. So then he read the number, and it was 4836. Well, that was my childhood number. And so now I'm hoping, he said 299B, yada, yada, yada. I said, yes, can you change it? He changed everything. My phone number, my name, gave me a new card, and I'm on my way. And then I got outside, and I thought, I hope that he didn't look up my mother's number. So, Mom, I hope your Stop and Shop card works next time you go use it. Because in the throes of all of this, he could very well have just updated your card with all of my information. Because the address that he gave, that apparently I had opened it in 2000 with that address. And I vaguely remember opening an account down there on the Vineyard, but it could be a mess, Mom. Anyway, that aside, Stop and Shop had some great coupons in their circular. Grapes for 79 cents a pound, red grapes, yummy. Bread, Pepperidge Farm Bread Farmhouse for $1.89. I'm not getting paid to do this either. I'm just telling you this because I was so thrilled with the prices. And I never would have thought that would come out of my mouth with respect to talking about that supermarket. Anywho, oh, I just cut that wrong. That's my shopping story. Pretty soon I need to check and see who's out there. If you're out there and you want to show us all what you're working on, send an email to lmarquidant@gmail.com. LMARQUEDANT @gmail.com. And we'll see who's out there. Because now that'll be a good thing to do. I'm going to try this. I have my iron here. It's outside of the camera, which is not very nice, but I forgot to move it over. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting these 4 pieces over there, and I'm just patting them down, and I'll show you why, because this is the fun part. It's all fun. Who am I kidding? Oh, I think there was someone else who asked about the flag pattern behind me. Yes, we did make that. We made it on FiberCast, and it's a Quilt Smart pattern, where you start with your interfacing and you literally sew the fabric onto it. Okay, so now we have 4 of these pieces, right? And now here's the critical part, is lining up the solar fabric before we do anything else. Supernova fabric. So these are, again, if I go to page 5 of the instructions, the 4 pieces I have are 45, 47, 49, and 52. And literally it says, I am going to want to create a block where, okay, so I'm going to have to hold it this way, just so I know. Nope, this way. The dark has to be going toward this diamond. So the dark. So when I look at it, the numbers are facing up. I can read them. Okay. So literally, now what I do is I keep this tag on, and I go and I sew it as straight as I can, so that when I fold it over, it will fill up the right square. I have noticed that because a lot of these blocks were cut on the bias, these supernova blocks, they do tend to stretch if you're not careful. So try not to stretch them or a lot. Oh, wait a second. Woo! This is going to be tricky. Okay, no, it's not. No, it's not. Sorry, folks. I was just lining up the diagonals. Happy Friday. Okay. I'm glad it seems as though the broadcast is working. I kept getting kicked out there. So I guess it helps if you just line these all up ahead of time, all 4 of them. This is fun. Then we'll make our other pieces. Well, I'll show you how I trim them. And then we'll make our other 2 pieces, and we will be putting together a block. Okay. Now, let's put all of these. We have to make these blocks next. So I'm just going to keep them all right here with our piles of fabric that we've already cut out. I want to show you what I do with these 4 next. So first, see how on the back there's a lot of the dark blue or D fabric showing? So I fold it over and I cut my 1/4 inch. So I do that for all 4. Ooh, the band must be taking a break. What's up with that? Oh, another thing we're doing is I'm starting a doll with my doll friends in early October. I can't tell you how busy this fall is. Oh, and I'm going to sign up Jean for that pinwheel thing. There's so many things to do. Anyway, okay, so there are the 4. Now, and I'm sorry you can't see this. And you know what? I realized I didn't turn on any of my lights. Am I in the dark? Oh my goodness. None of my studio lights are on. I have one little light here, one overhead light. Sorry, everyone. I guess I was excited just to come on. Oh, I know what it was. I was having computer problems, and then when it was working, I turned it right on to hopefully get at least a few minutes on with you. And now look. Okay, so there's 2. Let me do the other 2. Then set the seam like the tailors have taught us. Okay, so here are the raw pieces. Now I'm going to clean them up by cutting a 1/4 inch around. KB, if you're out there, if you're back from the fair, I hope you had a good meal. KB and Mom were going to the Bloomsburg Fair there tonight, and they were going to have dinner there, I do believe. So can you see what I'm doing here? Hopefully you can. I literally set it on my turntable. KB, I love this turntable, cutting table. And actually, though, I tend to still turn my pieces. And I literally am cutting a 1/4 inch around the sewing line. There we go. There's one. I know it's a little disconcerting to keep the tags on because it looks funny. Like if you look at all of the blocks behind me, they all still have the tag on them. Fight the urge to take the tag off, please. You will thank me. So just keep going around and around. Once I trim these up, I'll check the email and see who's out there. I hope you're, oh, and then we have to go through the mail I've received, including Missouri Star's catalog. Looks like the keepsake catalog from years ago. Now, that's not very good. Look at how that really stretched. I cut it too small, or maybe it was already cut that small. Anyway, I'm still going to be okay. I'm just going to have maybe 1/8 of an inch seam allowance there. Florida was beautiful, by the way. I was at the JW Marriott in Orlando, and they had a lazy river that I wanted to go in so bad, but there just wasn't time. We had meetings all day, and then we had vendor parties, partner parties all night. Oh, woe was me, right? It was very fancy, the parties, too. We gave a karaoke party, and people had a good time. Okay, so, looks like... Oh, I hear the dog here. Can't wait for everyone to see the new studio. I've been thinking about how to lay it out. And thinking, Chris, I want to have a couple of chairs like you have, so that there's a comfy place to sit. And then I want to have a big screen TV, so that I can watch my shows. Okay. I didn't know I just did that. Okay. So here I have 4 of these, and I'm literally going to set them up the way that it shows on my clue, so that I have it going the right way. So this is this column right here in the clue, and again, it's 45, 47, 49, and 52. So I want to make sure that I have all of them set up in the right orientation, so that when I do the other pieces, I know where to put them. Okay, so there those are. Now, hi Chris. Chris says, I can't wait for your new studio. I have your raffle basket. Oh, that's right. Thank you. And you have our quilts, I think. Thank you. I won a raffle basket. And I'm so excited. It had Aurifil thread in it. So excited. Oh, Dawn Stewart, our author of 300 Quilt Tips on Amazon, I'm so glad you're out there. I should have mentioned you. Your quilts were amazing. Your cat quilt that was bought, congratulations. That is just wonderful. And it was just so nice to see you out there. Aw, and so Dawn says, just wanted to say hi and tell you how much I enjoyed seeing you at the Marathon Quilters Quilt Show. Have fun stitching, Dawn. Thanks. You too. Aw. Linda says, hi Lynn, I'm looking forward to sewing with everyone tonight, and of course Clue 3 or Clue 4. Hope to see how people are progressing. Me too. I just finished the quilt below. It's the very first time I've quilted feathers. I enjoy the comments and pictures from all your FiberCasters. Hi to all, your quilting friend Linda Griffin in my quilt haven. Well, I don't see. Send me the picture. Let me see. Maybe it didn't download. I don't think that the feathers came through. So resend me the quilt. And I'm glad to know you're out there, Linda. Wendy and Crystal, down under, thanks for letting me know the bags of fabric arrived. So I know that it was late, so I don't know if you've started. Plus, you've been traveling. But I'm glad that the bags arrived. Phew! We were going to have to track those down. Rita, over in the UK, hello. Carol, hello. Carol says she's been out and about today. Oh, and she's going to her daughter's with a curtain she shortened for her, wearing her t-shirt. Oh, that warms my heart, Carol. Oh, and she says, I see a bonus post up, but cannot seem to get to it. with seam being spelled like S-E-A-M. I love that. Is it me going about it the wrong way, or is there a problem with the post? Well, I bet it is the post. It looks like, so KB did some bonus content. Hopefully, if you go in through Patreon and you click on that, you should be able to get to it. Try again. It should go right to YouTube. Again, I'm working on the technology. We actually have a gamer's software that we're going to check out. Okay. Oh, Maureen in PA. Last week, when I was telling her all about what Bob had been doing and how kind he'd been to me, and she says, "What did Bob do?" LOL, meaning he was in the doghouse and he was, well, and so I was thinking about it, and I couldn't come up with anything right away, and I still can't because I've been away. So if he had done something, it passed me by. So, anywho, let's get back to making at least one of these. How are we doing? Oh my goodness, time flies. These are really fun. These little ones, I love these. So I literally put the red square on the back, and then I just chain piece these. So I'm going to chain piece all 4 of these. I should be able to do that. See this? So I've got the red and the yellow, and now I put that through. Oh, and once I get these started, I wanted to show you my mail. I don't remember having quilt-related mail like this for years. I don't know if it's because I moved or I haven't bought anything. Like, I haven't gotten a keepsake quilting catalog in a long time. Are you all getting them? Those catalogs have to be expensive to produce. See, so I'm just doing, once I do 4 of these, then let's go to mail. And at some point this weekend, I am planning on doing another show to do the weather vane block in more detail. That's the one that Karen had an alternative method, and I will find her pattern and publish it. I think she's already offered it, and I missed it last week when I went to Orlando. So I'll get that up and out. Sarah Kokonowski, hello. If you are in Hawaii, you do get around, girl. Okay, so there are 4 of them. Let's take a break and look at the mail that I have received. So, Better Homes and Gardens. They do American patchwork and quilting. And I received a nice big envelope today. And it includes a couple of patterns that I wanted to show you. Oh, it shows some examples. Oh, this one, called Now and Later. I don't know if you can see it. It's scrappy. And it's literally made in strips with squares and rectangles. When a new quilt maker asks for help in selecting a project, we at American Patchwork and Quilting magazine suggest a pattern composed of these easy-to-piece shapes. That is a good tip. So it's a beginner, and you literally put a rectangle and a square together. So it's not strip set, and it actually is a good one for scraps. Although it looks like they've sort of done it in 30s fabrics. So anyway, that was kind of fun. They have time-saving tips. Slash your cutting time with rotary pointers from the pros. And these are methods for making half-square triangles. Then they had tips for finishing your quilt. Hip hip hooray for invisible and double applique. So this is kind of cool. Discover top quilting tips like these in your free year. You get 2 years for the price of one. RSVP today. Huh. So you can buy 2 years of the magazine for 1 year's price. So anyway, Better Homes and Gardens. It's called American Patchwork and Quilting. I'm sure it's been around forever, but now with Quilter's newsletter going by the wayside, I was really surprised to see this, and happily surprised. I may have to support them. It's kind of like what we were talking about the other day, supporting our local quilt shops. Without this kind of fun creativity, there's something nice and tangible about receiving a magazine in the mail. I haven't done that in years, so I might do that. Then, not to be outdone by Better Homes and Gardens, McCall's sent me a letter. Where is that? McCall's Quilting. So that's their magazine. And they literally show you how to do the machine blanket stitch. Oh, and then they did something on partial seaming, which brought me back to our Oh Baby Baby mystery quilt where we did the partial seams. And they just teach you about that again. You can always learn more about that. So that's McCall's. Right? Then I got the Missouri Star Quilt Company catalog. Look at this. Look at how heavy it is. And my goodness, is it fun to look at, including, if you haven't gotten one of these, maybe send them an email. Go to MissouriQuiltCompany.com, MissouriQuiltCo.com, or call them at 888-571-1122 and ask them to send you one of these. What's cool is, in the middle there are some new tools. And one, since we're talking about values, a few weeks ago we were talking about putting our values together with this quilt. They have some red color vision glasses. I don't know I hope you can see those. And it says, with So Red, the last thing you'll have to worry about is too little contrast in your quilts. Right? We talked about the value, really light and really dark. We wanted both, and we want some in the middle. With these glasses, it's just like taking a black and white picture or looking through your red finder. So they offer both red glasses and red clip-ons if you wear prescription glasses. So that's kind of neat. And all sorts of different things that I'm going to take this to bed and look at it. So that's that, and it's called the 2016 Holiday. Chris, have a blast when you go to the workshop next week, and send us hellos from there. Who's there? I think Gina's out there. Just checking. Again, send me email with pictures of what you're working on if you want. lmarquidant@gmail.com or lynn@simplycolorful.com. I forgot that we've been using that email. It's probably, all your emails are probably going there, and I have that on another computer. Well, let's get back to mail, because this is fun. Did everyone get their latest Joanne's flyer? This one came today, and it's for September. Oh, it goes through the 29th of September. Yay! 40% off, 50% off, any one regularly priced item. Oh, hello, coupon commotion. Friday through Wednesday, September 16th through 21. Oh my goodness, this is old. Oh, I'm bummed. Are you kidding? Think of what I could have bought there. Think of how much money I saved, though. Oh, well, I'm not seeing anything that's sticking out to me other than those coupons, which clearly you've already, for all of you out there, I'm sure you've already used them. Oh, all right, so here we go. Ooh, Thursday through Saturday, so that's through tomorrow, 20% off everything that I purchase. Ooh, that might be worth it. But I don't really need anything. That's a problem. Okay, and that's 50% off one cut of fabric. Okay, so look for your Joann's flyer, as always. And then this isn't really quilting related, but I love, it's called The Great Courses. And it's from a company down in Chantilly, Virginia. The world's greatest professors at your fingertips. And it has all sorts. It says, no homework, no tests, no grades, only the pure joy of learning anytime, anywhere. Oh boy, it sounds expensive. Unlock your inner storyteller and gain the skills needed to start or finish your novel. Chris, or maybe Jean. No, Jean might like that. Jean's really into education. Jean is the one who told us about the Rhodes Scholar. So Jean, this one might be for you. Okay. Oh my goodness. What is the nature of truth? Learning a classical language. How historically did Jesus come to be seen as God? Wow. I love the variety here. Learn about organic chemistry. Explore the Earth's most fantastic natural features. This is another one I'm taking to bed. There was one that I uncovered. Oh, this. Oh my goodness. Explore the grandeur and history of our national parks. See, now I would love to go on any of those Rhodes Scholar trips to national parks, and I think I've mentioned that before, with a botanist or a historian, or someone like, I think I told you about the horseback riding trip we took up at Banff, near Lake Louise in Canada. So we got on a horse for 3 days. It's one of the best vacations I've ever had. Ooh, that's a very small seam. That is not going to work. Can you see that? It's literally like a 1/16 of an inch. So I got Bob on a horse for 3 days in the Canadian Rockies. And maybe 20 pounds in a duffel bag was all we could carry. The mules carried our 20-pound duffel bag ahead. And for 3 days we were up there riding, trail riding from camp to camp. I had the best time, especially because there was a cowboy, our own personal cowboy, leading us through. And he would, not only would he tell us about, the wild West days when there were explorers and gold explorers, and he would cook for us. You know, he'd stop us along the river. It was just awesome. Okay, so I fixed that. Anyway, how did I get on that? Oh, Rhodes Scholar trips. They're rocking and rolling down there. Marquet, you're out there. So I literally just finger press that open. Get my yellow. And we go to town. I don't even trim these. I may regret it. But I haven't even been trimming it. A couple of times I've done my paper piecing backwards. Have you been doing that? Okay. So I'll cut 3 off. See that? So there are 2 pieces. And now, literally, put it forward, and I do another. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll finish one of each of these, and I'll show you how to put one together. Would that be fun? Would that be satisfying? I think it would be. Oh, and I have more news actually that I have to remind you. Oh my goodness, I'm making a mess here. Next week, we're doing FiberCast on Thursday night, Thursday at 8 o'clock. So if you're used to doing, and the reason being that Bob and I are going to a wedding. My nephew James is getting married. So, and the wedding is literally 5 o'clock on Friday out at Amherst. So, I will do this on Thursday. And if you're used to watching on Friday, you'll just see it recorded. Okay, let's put 3 of these aside for the sake of timing. And let's just finish one up. The funny thing is that studio downstairs is supposed to be soundproofed. Isn't that funny? I think it is. See, so I'm not even cutting the excess. I may regret that when it comes to quilting this quilt. But now we just go put the other lighter blue around all 4 corners. Oh, it sounds like it's raining outside. Gee, I almost forgot what that sounds like. So unbelievably dry around here. I think we're going to lose some trees. I told you we'd already lost one. Can you hear that? It's a little pitter-patter. We already have lost one Japanese maple. Then I noticed today when I was outside that we have a little red flame maple that I've moved like 3 times. So the poor thing has probably been stressed over its lifetime. We've had it for 8 years. I mean, we got it literally one of the first couple of years we moved in. It's never done well, and I noticed today it's all brown. So, and I can't honestly, I think there were a few branches still living this spring, but I can't remember how much. Okay. So see that? I may come back and trim that. But for now, meaning the layers underneath, off the back. But for now, I just want to trim it up. Hopefully we can get you one of these Storm at Sea blocks completed, so you can see what it looks like. Again, the trick on these Storm at Sea blocks is the positioning of the Supernova fabric. So just follow the instructions slowly. Keep your tags on the fabric and you'll be fine. Send me an email if you have any questions. I promise I will be around this week. So there's that. And here's this. Now I'm going to do one more. How are we doing? Oh boy, we're over. Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. Let me just finish this. This may take me 5 more minutes. Wow, I didn't know it was after 9. But this will be good. You literally will see 3 different pieces. Who knows? Maybe we'll catch some new people who are watching something until 9. If so, welcome to FiberCast. Our motto used to be, it's amazing what you can get done in 90 minutes, 60 minutes. Yeah, 90 minutes. Again. It's amazing what we can get done together in 60 minutes. Sometimes, as I was saying to Dawn, maybe I was saying to Dawn, but I was saying to someone at the Quilt show last week, some weeks our motto is FiberCast, better than a sleeping pill. For those of you who fall asleep with the iPad in bed, and I am one of them, big time. Although I've been thinking about that, and I may have to limit my usage. I was reading something about attention spans and how, I don't know if I was reading it or dreaming it or it was on TV, but that really we get so addicted, I'll speak for myself, addicted to the ability to move from one item to another on my iPad that nothing else can be quite as stimulating. So, which isn't good. I need to learn to be bored, that some things do take longer, but that's okay, if that makes any sense. So anyway, I think another way to say that is I need to get up off the couch and do more exercise. So I'm going to try and do that. Okay. So in our last couple of minutes together, just a reminder that this is Clue 4. Clue 5 will come out next Thursday, not Friday, and we'll have FiberCast next Thursday, not Friday. If you have any questions about the mystery, send them or post them. There are others here in the community that can help. Okay, so now I'm going to clean this one up. What else? If there are any, fall fairs that are happening in your neck of the woods, I encourage you to go. Anything outside, craft fairs, because they're great inspiration. And you see other people in the community. Take the time to stop and say hi. I had so much fun last weekend. My neighbors came by, which, shame on me. It takes a quilt show up in the center of town to see my neighbors who live right next door to me, but that's another story. So, I should have shown you. There are 2 more pieces. And now what I'm going to do is sew them all together. Okay? So first I sew these, and then make sure to use the power of seam nesting. I'll show you what I mean. This one, the seam is going that way. So on this one, I'm making the seam go that way so that when I put them together, the seams are nesting. And and they'll cinch in, although on this one I'm going to be going the wrong way. No, I'm not. No. See how I'm laying this flat? I want to make sure that my fabric is flat and in line. And then just take a little tuck with the pin. All right, we have to go this way. Yep. Okay, we're almost done. For everyone who joined me, thank you for joining. I hope you had half as much fun as I did. It's just amazing what we can get done in 60 minutes, and here is an example. What is it gonna all make? Thanks for joining, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend and a great week, and I'll see you next Thursday night right here on FiberCast. Bye, everyone.